So, Orla, lovely to see you again. And thank you very much for um, agreeing to be on this little short video. And it's really to give people an idea of what the online mindful self-compassion course is like, because you've
Yeah.
participated in it. And
Yeah.
not even forget I'm here, you can be truthful, not to, but yeah, what was your experience of the course?
Yeah, I could talk for ages, Barry, so feel free to very mindfully interrupt me if you need to. So for me, I think I would have had a mindfulness practice, and I've always been curious about self-compassion, and I've been looking to do a course actually for the last 2 years. And for me, what happened was the timing was just never right. I live in Laois, so I would involve me having to go to Dublin for it, and it would just taken quite some time. So for me, when I got the opportunity to do it online with Zoom, I kind of jumped at it, no excuses. Yeah.
And maybe because it's something I had a hesitancy about as well, because you participated in in-person ones, and what was the online experience like? I think that would be helpful for.
Yeah, I have to say, it was easy for me to decide to do the course because it was online, and I didn't have to worry about the logistics of it, getting up to Dublin. And then after I kind of made a decision to do it, I had the natural sort of thoughts coming into my head, like, what's it going to be like online? Will I get the same experience? Because I have done different courses in person, and I really enjoyed them, and I didn't know how it was going to compare to those. And I have to say, like, even from the first night, I was really surprised, like all the features of doing it online, and how we could first go into the little Zoom rooms. I was like a little child. I was like, oh, my Zoom room, it's great. And yeah, and kind of after that, then it was really easy to participate. Sometimes even a little bit easier than it was to do in person. For some reason, you just didn't have the same sort of self-consciousness, I think, when I was doing it online.
Yeah, you can find your own space.
Yeah.
And
that was fine. Like, I kind of set the time aside for myself, the same as if I would have been traveling to do the course. So I kind of just set a room aside in my house, and I'd have a very busy house, and that would have been one of my concerns as well. A couple of nights I did go somewhere else, somewhere else that was available to me, but I'd have a busy house, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it. But I was actually really surprised they allowed me, the kids, to just kind of, I just say to them, I'm going now to do my 2 hours or 2.5 hours. And yeah, they kind of, even my youngest guy, who was 10, who have quite difficulty in letting me go, was quite happy to let me, go up the stairs, and knew I was there, and he was safe. So yeah. So it made it very easy for me to do it, I have to say. I think one of the big things that really surprised me was the way we were able to make connections online. So, like, every week as we were getting to know yourself and Barry and Josephine, they were amazing, and I felt very connected. And as the weeks went on then, and we were broken up into our little Zoom rooms, you get to know the other people as well. And I didn't know whether I kind of liked the chatting and the talking. I'd be quite extrovert, and I didn't know whether I'd get that. So I just couldn't get over the connections we made. Like, so much that on the last week it was the very same, I'm not joking, as being in the room with the 8 people or the 10 people, because on the last week, we had that connection made. We were sad to say goodbye, the very same as what happens as if we were sitting in the room together. So, like, I even kind of get goosebumps talking about that, because it was such a lovely experience to actually be able to have it,
Yeah, and thanks, Orla. That was my experience too.
Yeah.
that most of the learning in any of this, I think, comes from, as a participant, sharing your experience with another person and
Yeah.
having some resonance and going, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that that happened. And
Yeah.
if one tiny question maybe to end, because I'm curious too, say that you finished the course a couple of months ago now, and in a really brief, but what little piece, if anything, has stayed with you or lingered, or something that's still helpful?
Yeah. I have to say that I really noticed that I've so much more of an acceptance of how I am now, or I kind of can be with myself in a kinder way. And when things happen, because life happens, I really noticed that I kind of go back to my little self-compassion bits of how can I look after myself, what would I need right now, and it definitely eases it. And yeah, like, I don't want to be like one of those cliche people that say, oh, it's like a magic wand. But I have to say, like, I just really felt it was in a way for me, because I was so much trying to be the perfect teacher, or be the perfect mum, or be the perfect everything, that there was so much pressure on myself. And once I kind of eased that pressure, or was able to be with it in a different way, more kindly, I've just, that's a big thing I'm taking away from it, I have to say. And it's amazing for me, is that I'm actually okay with being myself, which is huge for me, huge. So it was a kind of a little bit of a magic one moment. And I loved about it as well, because the way the course was structured, and each week a topic was dropped in. And even though, like, it was sort of like drop in on me, like in planting a little seed, or there wasn't like a moment where I went, oh, that's it now, I'm going to be like this. It was gradual, and sometimes so gradual you don't even see it. And then you might realize, then I realized afterwards, that, oh my God, like, yeah, I can see those little changes, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's just a much kinder way of being with myself, and much more accepting of myself in the midst of everything in life. So yeah, thank you so much for it. And I couldn't recommend Barry and Josephine any better, because they were just, yeah, amazing facilitators as well. So thanks so much, Barry
And
Josephine.
thank you
Yeah.
for giving the time here. We really
Okay.
appreciate it.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Orla.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
See you again soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye. Oh,
Oh.